Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. We're going to let YouTube catch up and StreamYard catch up. When you can hear me and let me know we're live, give me a 2x4 in the chat. John McMillan, good morning. First person in here. I appreciate you being here. All right, we should be live and ready to go. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat and we'll get started. All right, Miss Sharon, thank you for jumping in here. All right, guys, today's Tuesday, October 21st. We're on day 21 of the government shutdown. So, Camo Dad, good morning, buddy. We're on day 21 of government shutdown. How's it affected y'all? I'd like to know. They're saying, of course, the world's going to end and everything else, and it's the most horrible thing in the world that's happening. I was looking, there was something, everybody's saying now that the SNAP benefits are going to end. If they don't get this resolved, SNAP benefits are going to be cut off to everybody and stuff like that. They're saying possibly, and what I was looking, Chantel, good morning. What I was looking at, it's a lot of these people from the liberal states. Are saying this. And of course, they're going to follow, the liberal doctrine and everything else of, oh, yeah, the world's going to end, this kind of stuff. It's going to be crazy. There's not going to be any more benefits. I have talked to somebody that knows about this, and they had told me that most likely SNAP benefits are still going to continue, even with the government shutdown, that apparently most of these funds have been allocated. Most of these funds have been allocated for all year when they do it. And there should not be a problem with that. So I don't know. The people that really need these SNAP benefits, I feel bad for them if they do get cut off. But the people that have been doing this generationally and just living on it and sucking off the government teat, hey, it's going to be a rude awakening for you. So government shutdown, has it affected you? Have you noticed? Camo Dad says, so far, I've not noticed. I'm with you. I've not noticed too. I've been going every morning to work, doing this, working around my place, and hadn't noticed at all. So we will see. I think they've scheduled another vote on Monday. So, they're super excited to get this done. I mean, they voted yesterday, and it's going to be another week before they do it again. So they really don't care. So, Greg Skeens, good morning. And let me check this. Let me see. I got the electrician calling me. Let me send him a text message. All right. I got the electrician coming down to my brother's house, and I told him, I'm like, it's going to be 9:15 before I can get down there. And he's calling me at 8:03. So apparently he didn't pay attention. Hi, Homestead. Good morning. Russell Moody, good morning. And Melanie's here. Good morning. So, wait, Greg News snuck in. So, and yes, Melanie, right now would be a good time to donate to the local food pantries and your church pantry. Yeah, because some of these people are going to run out if it happens. I've heard that it's not going to happen, that it's already been allocated, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't work for the government, nor do I want to work for the government. And Chantel says, hasn't bothered me. And Greg Skeens said he's still good. Yes, and I think Congress should not be paid during the shutdown, just like the other federal workers. But they're always going to get paid. They've always got to take care of themselves, just like anything else, just like the Obamacare and all that insider trading and stuff like that. It's it's good for rules for thee, but not for me. I honestly think they ought to take everybody in Washington except for Thomas Massey. I like that guy. He is not taking AIPAC money. Seems like a super awesome guy, even though, I'm a little biased. He is in Kentucky. But that guy, I think they ought to kick everybody out, start fresh. They ought to get some dump truck drivers, some plumbers, some school teachers, maybe a couple bankers that aren't crooked. No lawyers whatsoever, because there's not a lawyer that you can trust, or there might be a couple, but who knows where they're at. But dump truck drivers, carpenters, plumbers, school teachers, waitresses, some small business owners. Get a guy that owns a restaurant, that owns a small restaurant. Get him in there. Get a preacher or two on there. Get some Sunday school teachers to go up there. Normal people that live this and understand what's going on, they should be the ones running the government, because a small business owner like myself is going to look at a situation similar to what I would look at the situation as. It's like, hey, why are we spending all this stupid money on these foreign countries? Why are we doing this when we can lower the taxes on my business? And then Jason will also be, good with this. If we're not throwing all these benefits and all these millions and billions of dollars to foreign countries, we can cut back on the taxes and stuff like that, save all these people money. The school teacher's going to look at it the same way. It's like, why are we doing this? The preacher's going to look at it a certain way. I don't think we should be doing this. I don't think we should be giving money to Planned Parenthood, that kind of stuff. Let's cut off funding for this. Cut all the people out and start over fresh. Yeah, it might be hell and high water till they all get in there and figure out what's going on, but it couldn't be any worse than what's happening right now, in my opinion. So I'm all for kick everybody out top to bottom and start fresh with it. You get 2 terms and it doesn't matter. 2 terms and you're done. The school teacher goes up there, she gets paid for her time and she can run on 2 terms. And then when she's done, she comes back and teaches kindergarten again. There's none of this 30 and 40 year crap of staying in Washington and making it a career choice. It's not a career choice. You're supposed to be going up there, serving and representing your person, your fellow person. A carpenter goes up there, he represents for two things, and he's representing me and, representing my family. And then he comes back and goes back to his carpentry business. That's the way it ought to be. And that's the way it used to be. Johnny didn't miss too much. So not yet. And thanks for doing the replay, crew. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. And Russell says that most of these people that get SNAP benefits are driving better vehicles than we are. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that is happening like that, and it is just absolutely insane. I think it was Ronald Reagan that said, what is it? The SNAP benefits and all that should not be it's a safety net, not a hammock like a lot of people have made it out to be. I mean, it's generational stuff on government assistance, which is not supposed to be that way. A lot of it is like the VA stuff, they budget ahead of time. Yeah, exactly. And I've talked to some people that work for the state, and they are also do some stuff with the federal government. And they said that their budget is made a year ahead, and all that money is appropriated at the first part of the year. And they're like, this thing would have to go on for a super, super long time for them to be worried about anything like that. So, I mean, I know several people that work for the state, they keep on working. They're going to their job every day doing the stuff, and it's not affected them whatsoever. And the House is scheduled to be in their districts until 11/5, then work 3 days, off for Veterans Day, and then work 8 days, then off for Thanksgiving through the end of the month. Cushy job. Yeah, that, and they pay for all your lodging, all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's a gravy train job. That, and no telling how many millions of dollars you're getting from the lobbyists and stuff like that. It just gets my goat, the crap that goes on. Good morning, Bill. How are you doing? And let me see. Yeah, they're only scheduled to be in D.C. 11 days in November, and don't ask about December. That's a wash. Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. And they haven't been able to pass the latest proposal of 12-year terms. Man, I tell you, two terms, and they should come back wherever they're at and get like a real job. And exactly, Greg, it's a hand up, not a handout. And the thing is, before all this and before taxes were so stinking stupid all the time, I mean, you're working, what is it they say? Essentially, you're working a third of the year to pay your taxes. I mean, it's stupid. I pay taxes every year. I write a check at the end of the year. We'll file the taxes, write the check, and it's just like, this sucks. I hate doing it. But before all this, the churches, people had more money and they would donate and give and tithe to the church to where the church could help. People used to go to the church when they lost their job or something like that. They could go to the church. The church would assist them and help them out. But now people are so broke all the time. It's like, I don't have money to give extra money and tithe to the church for these programs. It's like, I'm barely making it myself. But the church used to be the way to go. I mean, now it's not, unfortunately. Our church still helps out quite a bit with stuff, but it used to be the small little country churches. Somebody lost their job, that person could go to the preacher or the deacons and ask for help, and the people would band together and help them. And people on Snap are the only ones eating steak these days. Yeah, or unless you're raising your own. So, I mean, raise your own food and you can eat like a king. I mean, I've got 2 lambs in the freezer. I've got lamb chops. We've got pork. We've got steaks in the freezer, but it's raising your own and doing that. But yes, there are all kinds of people on Snap that are eating steak and lobster and everything else. Michael Osborne, good morning. Let me see. Bill wrote us a big paragraph. By day 5, the bougie chickens I was gifted are figuring out the compost ring, had half the flock fighting over who's going to eat first this morning. Yeah, exactly. I hope that compost goes good for you, Bill. And let's see. Congress, their children, and even their children's staff did not have to pay back student loans. Well, imagine that. Who would have thought that would have happened, you know? Oh, all right. Government shutdown. It's going to keep going for a while. It's not affecting me. I hope it's not affecting you and hope it's not affecting your families. So if it is, I'm sorry for that. And hope we can get through this if it really is affecting you. Let me see. Family, church, community is where it should be handled. That would fix the system. Yeah, exactly. All right. Think of this. How much we pay in taxes. If we could cut our taxes to a quarter of what they were, okay? We'll cut the taxes to 25% of what we're paying right now. And then we took 25% of what we were paying, the original amount. Okay, say we were paying $100 a year in taxes. We cut that to 25%. So we're going to pay $25 to the federal government. We're going to take another $25 and give it to the church and donate it to the church for community projects, for helping people that need help, you know, single moms, you know, a guy that he lost his job. We put it in a fund and we have a committee allocated for helping people in the community, in the local community, not going and planting churches in Africa or anything like that, but someone in your local community is what it's for, you know, 15 miles from your church. We take that $25. You're still paying half as much as you were in taxes. So you're saving $50. The government's getting 25 and then the church is getting 25. So you're saving $50 a year on your taxes. And then the church has a huge influx of money to where they can help people locally and do that. That plan sounds pretty simple. I mean, I think, you know, my 10-year-old could do that math and figure out that he's saving $50 a year on his taxes. But the thing is, it's too simple and the government would never do it. And yes, bougie chickens. I had some bougie chickens, and we did a bougie chicken coop for my wife, built it. I got a video on it. You can go back and look. And actually, we need to get some more bougie chickens. My wife is wanting some. Let me see. John said, I paid $4 for a can of store-brand corned beef hash yesterday. I can remember when it was 99 cents. So, yeah, times are tough. Yes, they are. So, all right. I am here today. Greg New and I were supposed to be going to the EMS Expo in Indianapolis, and we were going to leave yesterday morning. But Saturday, I was looking at the schedule for the EMS stuff. And we weren't going for any of the classes or anything like that. We were going up there just for the exhibits because a bunch of the manufacturers are there. North American Rescue, Dynarex, Rescue Essentials, TACMed Solutions, a bunch of the companies that we buy from and are distributors for, we're going to be there. So I was like, let's go up for a couple days, check out all the products and stuff like that, talk to our distributors. So I was looking at the schedule, and this is a 5-day show or a 5-day event. I started looking, and I was like, oh, we got a problem. They are doing, it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are the days that the exhibit hall are going to be there with the vendors. And I'm like, crap. So I called Greg. I was like, hey, can we change the schedule and go up our Thursday and Friday? And he's like, yeah, let me shuffle a few things around. So we had to change the hotel room and all that. And I'm like, man, I am glad that I noticed that, because it would have been horrible for us to drive all the way up to Indianapolis and get there. And we're like, the stuff we wanted to do is not happening until Wednesday. So we are going Thursday and Friday up there. We will do the live Friday from the EMS Expo show. So we'll be doing that. But that's why I'm here on Tuesday and not in Indianapolis. But we'll be in Indianapolis Friday morning for the show. So, and let me check real quick and see what my electrician needed. All right. All right. Let's see what this. Indiana H-2A immigrant hiring program, minimum wage $17 an hour, American citizen Indiana minimum wage $7.25. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So make it make sense, guys. L2 Survive, good morning. What's going on with you? All right, we've got all right. Land Nav, you can see it scrolling down at the bottom. Land Navigation Workshop, we're running that joker at 25% off because we want y'all to get training in land navigation. It's an awesome skill to have. That is coming up November 8th and 9th. That's up at Barren River Lake State Park. It's a 2-day class. Mike Atkins is teaching it. He's a retired Green Beret, super awesome guy. He knows his land nav stuff. So we wanted more people to be able to get in there. So that land nav class is 25% off. It's going to be 25% off for a little while, but jump in there, get your seat for that, because I'm excited about it. I was like, I've got my compass. I've got everything. I was like, I bought some alcohol markers for my maps and doing all that stuff. You don't need a code, anything like that. I went ahead and marked it down on the website, so you don't have to worry about putting a code and working or anything like that. But get your spot in that. And let me make a note. All right. Get your spot for that. That's going to be a fun time. Also, Homestead Meetup is this Saturday, the 25th. That's at Western at the Expo Center where we have the festival. It is free to come. Just bring a soup. We're calling it the Souptacular Homestead Meetup. People are bringing soups. A few people are bringing desserts. I think Greg and Desiree are bringing sourdough bread, which I'm excited about that. But it's a total free event. Doesn't cost you a dime to come. The only thing is, run to the website, and it's on the non-festival workshops. Just register for it. All you got to do is put in, Miss Sharon put it in here. Just register, just so we'll know who's coming, and then we can get a count and know how many tables to set up, that kind of stuff. So it's not anything crazy, not going to cost you any money. We just want to know how many people are coming. Right now, Shelly told me the other day that it's like, I think 30-something people have already registered. So we're probably going to have 40-ish people there. I'm excited about it. And then Greg, right here, you won't get any better or more personalized training on this vital task at that price. Yeah. I mean, and it's still, I'm not going to lie, at 25% off, it's still a little bit of money, but, a workman is worth his hire. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. It's going to be good. I mean, I think it's still, after 25% off, it's $337. I tell you what, Mike is not getting rich by doing this class. I can tell you, because I know how much it cost. to put this class on as far as time and stuff like that. But Mike is an awesome instructor, and it's going to be a great time. Chantel's not going to be able to make it Saturday. I'm sorry. I was hoping you'd get to. It's going to be a fun day. If you can make it anyway, make it. So swing some stuff around, see what you can do about it. So, all right. So we got that. The Homestead Meetup is Saturday, this Saturday, the 25th. Herbal Workshop is December 6th, and it's going to be at the same place where we have the festival. You can run and do that at the website and check it out. So, also, I did the pink spoon. That's the pink spoon out of the MRE that I've been looking at and doing stuff for. That's the MRE Star MREs. They're doing for October Breast Care Awareness Month. They're donating money for the MREs that they sell. They're donating like up to $10,000 this month for breast care awareness stuff. And their thing is they put a pink spoon in the MREs. So I put a video out last night of me trying the MRE, and I tell you what, it was pretty stinking good. The toasted corn, they're kind of like corn nuts. Those things were good. And my wife does not like anything in MREs. I was like, try one of these. And she was like, oh, she said, these are good. And she just kept munching on the whole thing. She's like, do you want these back? And I was like, no, go ahead and just eat all of them. So she stole the toasted corn and liked those. But go check that video out. It's up on YouTube. So today, oh, well, all right. One other thing, first aid medical kits. If you need first aid stuff, first aid gear, we got the kits over here. We got our IFAC, and we got our vehicle med bag. We got those. The red case up there, that's your OSHA compliant kit if you want it. We've got all that stuff in stock. If you want individual supplies, you can order individual supplies. I've got to ship some stuff out this afternoon when I get back from my brother's place, but shipping that stuff out. I've got a ton of soft T tourniquets from TACMed Solutions. I got a whole buku of those shipped in the other day, so they're sitting there ready to ship out if you need those. So check out first aid medical stuff. It's there in stock, ready to ship out. Also, radios, pre-programmed radios. Those radios, we will program those to your location with the repeaters. And then also, once you get it and play with it a little bit, Brian and Susan from S&B Homestead Radio will get a hold of you, and you get a 30-minute video consultation with it. So, all right, let me see. Patty. Hey, KSL family, please keep Hacks in your prayers. We're in the ICU with his heart went into AFib. Patty, I am sorry to hear that. Guys, if you don't know Patty and Darren in Hacks for the Homesteader, Darren is a super awesome person, and Patty is even more super awesome than Darren. But we love those guys. I consider them part of the family. I love seeing those people. But apparently Darren is in the ICU, went into AFib. Guys, pray for Darren. Patty, I'm so sorry to hear that. They're out in Kansas. Patty, if you need anything, let Shelly and I know. I am sorry to hear that. And we will be praying for you today. Sorry. Let's see. L2 Survive. For the land nav class, we teach navigating using the Southern Cross after the pole flip. I do not know. Mike is teaching the class. Mike is the land nav expert. I don't know. So that's going to be something we'll have to ask him. I know very little about land nav. I'm excited because I'm going to get to go through it. So I don't know. That's a question for him. I'll see if I can ask him and let you know about that. Let's see. Chuck, good morning. How's it going? And all right. Oh yeah. And then the last thing before we get into the topic of the morning, Greg New and I were talking the other day, and he was like, hey, you're talking about all this cool stuff. He was like, what if we did a bug out weekend. And it's like you bring your bug out bag, we camp out for the weekend, see how your bag works and stuff like that. So guys, if y'all would be interested in doing a bug out weekend, we will find a place. I've got a couple places in mind that we can do a bug out weekend. Probably everybody come in Friday afternoon, and bring your bug out bag. And you're going to live out of your bug out bag for like Friday night and Saturday night. And we will be doing some classes and stuff like that. Just small, like, 1 hour classes, how to use a bow drill or something like that. Maybe do a little bit of shooting depending on where we're at. But the guys are going to teach classes. We'll do a little bit of bushcraft stuff. Maybe, look at some different water filters. We can bring several different water filters in. But essentially, you're going to live out of what you brought on your bag or on your back for the weekend. So Greg was like, that would be something cool to do. It will do it all free to where it's not going to cost you anything. Come in, live out of your bag for the weekend, and see what happens with that. So if y'all are interested in it, let me know. Shoot me an email or tell me here in the chat that you're interested. And Greg and I are going to start planning that. It'll probably be sometime in March, something like that, to where the weather's pretty decent, and we can have a good time. Everybody sit by the fire at night and just talk about a bunch of stuff. So if y'all are interested in that, let me know in the comments. And Greg, great opportunity to try out your gear so you'll know if it's good if you ever need it. Exactly. And now this kind of ties in to what we're going to talk about today. Complacency kills you. So complacency kills a lot of people, and this is one of the things we're going to lead into this. I looked it up. Complacency, kind of the definition, one of the definitions that I found on it. Complacency equals comfort masquerading as confidence, which it makes sense. So, after you get the new burst of excitement, you buy this new radio, you're like, man, I'm set, I'm ready to go. I got this radio, I can talk to whoever I want to all over the world with this little bitty 5-watt Baofeng. I'm good to go. You kind of plateau with it. You don't ever use it. So it's, new gear, new food storage, bug out bags, all that stuff. You buy it and then you plateau and you're like, I've got it and I'm good. It's never looking at it again. Complacency is really not laziness. It's kind of it's comfort disguised as mastery. So I've got a bunch of different stuff that I went through and put in my notes so I could keep everything straight. But I came up with four signs. With 4 signs, you become a comfort prepper. And 1, you stop checking and rotating supplies. So, the pantry's full, but you haven't checked it. You've got everything there. You bought, a year's worth of Mountain House sitting in there. You've got, 1,000 pounds of wheat. You got 1,000 pounds of beans, 1,000 pounds of rice, but you've never looked at it. You never looked at it after you put that up. 2 years ago, you put all these beans and rice in there and you hadn't checked on it. Hey, have the mice got in there and chewed your Mylar bags up? Have these bags puffed up? Anything like that? Sage Creek Prepper, good morning in Lexington. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And the bug out sounds great. All right, we're going to start looking at it and planning it. So, have your batteries turn green and corroded and stuff like that. Yeah, you bought a bunch of awesome, what are they, pale blue earth batteries, and just put them in there, charged them and stuck them in storage. Now the things are corroded because you hadn't looked at them in 2 years. So then when you go to pull those jokers out, you're like, oh crap, all my batteries are toast. I thought I had enough batteries and now we're done. All kinds of stuff. Your water. Yeah, your water's sitting outside. It's all turned green. That's one of those things you can filter it out. But look, or hey, you've had your barrels outside and they froze and now they busted a leak and one of them's leaking out and you didn't really notice it because they're on the back of the barn where you never go. and you come in, you're like, great, I thought I had X amount of water. Now my buckets or my barrels have frozen and they've all leaked out. I'm in trouble. That's going to kill you. There's a quote that I saw: complacency whispers, you're fine, you've got enough. And that is, I mean, you can look at it. So number one, that you become a comfort prepper is you stop checking and rotating supplies. You put the stuff on the shelf. You never go down there and check it again. The only time you check it is if the door is open in your storage room when you walk by it. You just glance in. You're like, oh, look at that stuff. You never went in there and moved a can. Never went in, looked at your bags. Never looked at your batteries, anything like that. Or your ammo storage. You might have 1 million rounds of ammo and they're sitting down in the basement and you didn't realize that there was a small leak, and now all your steel cased AK ammo is rusted all to snot, and you're like, ooh, that's bad. So, all right, number two, you stopped learning new skills. So you know you've taken, you know, and made, you mastered fire starting with a bow drill. You can do that in the piss pouring rain, hailstorm, and everything else. You've mastered that. You've mastered, you know, building homemade water filters like Bill's talking about in here. But you haven't practiced any of your medical, and you haven't practiced any comm stuff. So you can build a fire. That's great. You know, you can build a fire, but now you're bleeding out because you didn't know how to put a tourniquet on. You didn't take the time to do that. So you've got to keep learning new stuff. Your real world stuff. Go through in a skill rotation. This is why, like, the land navigation course is a big thing, especially if you're going to plan on bugging out. You're going to need to know how to use a compass, especially if you're in unfamiliar places. Or honestly, think about this. Greg and I are going to be in Indianapolis at the end of the week. Land navigation. If something happens up there, you're going to need to know how to get home, because honestly, you're not going to want to walk the interstate, because that's where everybody and their mom's going to be walking. Then you're a great target out there with everybody else. You're going to be wanting to go side roads, stuff like that. And that's where navigation is going to come in. So you've got that. You've stopped learning new skills. You know, it's always, yes, training is expensive, but dying is more expensive. Granted, you're not going to have to pay the bill. Your family's going to have to pay the bill, but still, it's going to be expensive. Keep learning that stuff. I mean, okay, training stuff. This Saturday for the Homestead Meetup, Shelly is going to show people how to make soap. It's not going to cost you any money to learn how to make soap. It's going to cost you some money if you want to buy the stuff to make soap. But learning how to make the soap is not going to cost you a dime to come and look at that. Jessica, her daughter, is going to be teaching chicken care and chicken first aid stuff. It's not going to cost you anything to do that. So there, you've got that. That's a free training opportunity. And even if you're tight on money, you can still find good training opportunities. Look, some of the medical stuff, plug into the Red Cross. You know, you can get training at the Red Cross for free if money's tight. Let's see, Greg. Don't worry, Jason. I'll have my get home bag with maps. Good. See, I can count on Greg. I've got to figure out what I'm going to pack for the thing. So, but the nice thing with going with Greg, like when Greg's going to come pick me up, if I show up and I grab my gun bag and I've got an AR-15 with me and a ton of ammo, I'm just going to be like, Greg, where do I need to put this? He's not going to be like, well, why in the hell do you need an AR-15? It's going to be like, cool, just throw it in the back seat. So that's the nice thing about doing stuff like that. All right, let's see. Hi from Louisville, living the belly of the beast. T. Manley. This is where spaced repetition comes in handy. You test your skill sets on a cadence that reminds you, and not just passing from your mind. Exactly. And then L2 survived. The power went out when I was out at the bug out location and woke up cold. I put my heated vest on and went back to bed. Off topic, but it's nice to be prepared. No, that's on topic. Test your gear. You knew what gear you needed, and you had your vest to where you could sling it on. So, I mean, one thing that I do, you can pick one new skill and work on it. And I do stuff like that. Like, there's too many guys that are just into guns, or they're just into stacking silver and stuff like that. They've got $1 million worth of silver in their house, but they've got like a day of food. So you're not being a well-rounded preparedness person. I take a lot of stuff, like I'll get on a kick with doing ham radio stuff and really kill that for like a month, 2 weeks, a month, something like that. And then I will get on another topic. Like, it's, hey, we need to do a lot of infrastructure work. I'm going to be looking at infrastructure this month and learning new stuff on the infrastructure, whether that's solar stuff, or whether that's fencing, or whether that's animals, building new animal systems, stuff like that. And then I rotate around. And then 1 month it might be, hey, we're going to double down on the amount of stuff that we're freeze drying for the month, as opposed to what we're usually freeze drying. So then that way you're always building and you're always learning new stuff. Because when you're freeze drying stuff, you might be like, you might see a video and it's like, man, I didn't know we could freeze dry and do something like that. So you're always learning new stuff. And you're not just laser focused on all you're looking at is guns, guns, guns all the time, or you're not just looking at silver, silver, silver all the time. You become a more well-rounded prepper or preparedness person. Number 3, you've lost situational awareness. I mean, there's so many people that lose situational awareness. They're always in. When they walk out of the store, they're like ding, 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 and they're barely looking up. They run their cart into a car and everything else, and you've hit the Tesla that's charging over there, and then the Tesla guy's mad at you and all this. But, situational awareness. People just don't pay attention to stuff, or they get so complacent in everything. The drive to work. If you're driving to your job and you work at the same place every day, you get complacent. You just don't pay attention. You're just scrolling on your phone, anything like that. A scan. A lot of stuff is, the situational scan. Look at emergency alerts, weather, supply chain news, stuff like that. I am horrible sometimes about the news, because I stay up on local news more than national news, stuff that's happening in Kentucky and right around me. But the national stuff, really, I've got no way to fix it, no say in it, anything like that. So it's like, hey, I'd rather, work in my local area and stay more abreast on that. But and one thing is, spend 10 minutes outside every morning just listening to stuff, what's going on. You scroll through your phone and you observe, but you don't do anything about it. You just scroll through, look, situational awareness. One thing is not carrying your gun. And this is, lacking in situational awareness. You're like, man, I'm running a mile down the road to the IGA to grab some bread for the kids' lunch tomorrow. I don't need to take my pistol with me. You're going to be at 100% of your emergencies. And it's like, well, I'm going to take my pistol, but I'm not going to throw my ankle kit on, or I'm not going to throw my tourniquet and my chest seals and stuff like that in my pocket, because I'm not going to need it. I'm just going to be a mile away. That's complacency. That's going to kill you. It's just like, why would you go without your wallet to run down there? It's like every time you do it, every time you've got your pants on, you need to have your firearm with you, because then you're not getting complacent in it. Working around the house, you need to have your gun with you, because you're down at the shop. If you don't have a shotgun stashed, which you should have a couple shotguns stashed, you're down at the shop doing something, working on the mower. Somebody drives up and you're like, ooh, there's a gun in my truck, but my gun's 100 feet away and somebody's already walked up to the shop door and I don't have a gun on me. I'm in trouble if something wrong, if the guy's there for nefarious stuff. So it's always, don't get complacent in that. You think things aren't going to happen. You're just running down to the store a mile away. Nothing can happen a mile away. Hey, all kinds of stuff can happen a mile away. I mean, you could pull out and get T-boned by a drunk driver pulling out of your driveway. Who knows what's going to happen? So don't get complacent and stuff like that. And then Bill says, most accidents happen less than 20 miles from your front door. Exactly. And the old joke about that was the blonde said she was gonna move, and they asked her why, and they're like, well, most accidents happen within 20 miles of your house, and she was like, I'm gonna move like 30 miles away. So the blonde didn't get that one. All right. The fourth thing, you think you're done prepping. You've got a year supply of Mountain House. You've got 15 AR-15s. You've got, 10 cases of gauze, and you've got 100 cat tourniquets, all this stuff. You've got $10,000 of radios, just all this stuff. 20,000 rounds of ammo, 10,000 watts of solar, all this kind of stuff. You're like, I'm good. I've got enough food, enough ammo. I'm good. You're never done. You're never done in the preparedness game. No matter what you've got, you can always start going on. Stuff changes. Your health changes. Your location changes. Then you've got to change stuff up. So realistically, you're never done doing this. It's not preparedness, and homesteading is not a destination. It's a lifestyle. You can have 100 head of sheep out there and 50 chickens and everything's going along, but it's like, hey, what are ways to improve this? Let's keep improving on what we've got. Preparedness is a lifestyle, really not a checklist of stuff. Yes, you can check off stuff to do, but it's always like, have a to-do list. I've still got a to-do list of stuff I want to do here, and I've been at this property for a long time and been going at this a long time, but there's always that list of stuff that I need to do, that I want to go. Yes, I've got a ton of food stored up. I've got a ton of ammo. I've got a ton of training. I've got a ton of medical stuff, but we keep going and going and getting more. And Greg says, never stop learning and training. Skills are perishable, and newer, better techniques come around all the time. Thank Chicken Tractor. Yeah, you just keep moving on. You keep going. Keep getting more training on stuff. Your training, you should never, I don't care if you're 18 years old and you've just started this journey, or if you're 80 years old and you've been doing this for 40 years, you should still keep learning stuff, because there's new stuff coming out all the time. Train. I'm excited about the land nav class. I'm excited about the herbal workshop that we've got going on. I'm excited about the homestead meetup. I've seen, my wife has made soap before. I kind of know how to do it. I've been to some stuff on soap making. I've seen it all, but I'm excited to go and learn how Shelly's going to do it. I know a lot about chickens. I'm excited to see what Jessica's going to say at the homestead meetup. That's free training right there. That's not going to cost you. But keep getting training stuff. Never stop learning. Greg and I are going to go to the EMS show. We might see if we can jump in a class or something like that, but we're going to be talking to people and learning stuff up there. The bug out weekend, we're going to start planning it. It's going to be fun. Yeah, you've packed your bug out bag, but do you know if it's going to work or not? The newfangled bushcraft knife that, will slice through 30 deer at once and never needs sharpening. Your grandkids are the one that are going to have to sharpen it, 30 years from now. You're going to see if that bushcraft knife is going to work. Your water filter. I've got one sitting here. Your water filter. You bought it. Have you used it? You're going to try to see if it's going to work. So you're never done. Look and see also. Even though you've got a year supply of Mountain House, eventually that stuff is going to, quote, expire over its best buy date. So is anything expired or broken? And then you look at it, hey, could I live with this setup, the stuff I've got, for 72 hours? So look at that kind of stuff. And then kind of the cure for some of this is doing weekly mini drills. Test one of your items. Take the stove out, that you bought, the little propane stove that you never tried out that's sitting in the box. Get that joker out and cook breakfast on it. Do it on a Saturday morning. Take it out. Take that joker and, make it fun for the kids. Be like, hey, we're going to cook outside on the picnic table. The weather's getting nice outside. Throw it on the picnic table. Make bacon and eggs and pancakes on that little stove. Do it. Run a little mini drill. Take your radios. Play with them. Get them out. Make sure the batteries are charged. Stuff like that. Get the radios out. Let the kids play with them. Take one and drive around. See how far you can get with it. Make sure they're good. Make sure the batteries are going to stay up and the batteries hadn't gone bad into things. rotate your mindset. Ask yourself, if X failed today, what's your next move? Hey, if my solar generator gives out, what's my next move on that? Or, another thing complacency can kill you is a winter storm. You haven't taken your generator out. You've been meaning to. You walk by that generator every time you come in the garage and you're like, hey, I want to, I need to start the generator and make sure it works. So then we're getting into winter. We have an ice storm, the power's out, and you go down to try to start your generator and you're like, crap, I should have done this last month when it was warm outside and I had time to do it and I had lights and electricity to see what I'm doing. Now your generator's not going to start. Your kids and your wife are up in the house freezing to death because you got an ice storm and no power and you're rebuilding the carburetor on your generator, when if you weren't complacent about it a month ago, you could have spent the time to do it when the heat was on in the house and everybody was happy. So look at that. Then Greg, one thing, is your sleep system adequate? Yeah, that's something you can look at. And then the guy on the internet said, I need to go train so I can get a new gun to train with. Yes, L2 Survive, you need a new gun to train with. You need new ham radio equipment. You need new medical supplies. And you need new Mountain House food. So we can help you with that stuff. I mean, get a new gun. We can't help you with the guns, but we can help you with all the other stuff. Team Manly, my grid down comms capacity right now is 2 Dixie cups and the strings. Hoping the hell it works. Hey, we can help you on the off-grid radio stuff. We've got handhelds. We've got base station radios. We've got, we got the TYT 9800s and the TH 8600s. Those are base station or mobiles like you can put in your car. We've got those in stock. We'll program those jokers for you. Send them out we'll program them to your area where you got the repeaters in there. And then once you get those and play with them a little bit, Brian and Susan do our consultations for us because they are amazing at teaching stuff. They're going to do a consultation. It all comes with the package. They'll do it, get you set up, show you how to use that radio, answer any questions. And if they don't answer the questions, then I can talk to you about it if you got any extra questions after that. So, Team Manly, we can set you up with some off-grid comm stuff for sure. I've still got to get and find a little desk to put right over here because I moved into this office and all my ham radio stuff is in another room down here in the basement. I've got to get all my coax cable moved and everything set up. That's one thing that's on my to-do list in the next week or so. I mean, I've got all my radio stuff set up in the other room, but it's kind of a pain in the butt if you want to run over there and use it as to where I could just have it sitting right here. So also another cure, teach what you know. It's the whole thing. What do they say? Learn one, teach one, something like that. But teaching reinforces stuff. If you know how to do something, every time you teach it, you learn it again, kind of thing. And then you're showing people how to do stuff. So share it with your friends and your family, stuff like that. I love it when I can share experiences and show people how to do stuff. It's awesome. One of my favorite things is, there, Greg, see one, do one, teach one. I knew it was something like that. Heck, I forget. But, see one, do one, and teach one. One of my favorite things is when we teach processing classes and people come in, they're like, they're a little nervous about it, like how to process a pig. We get to showing it, and I'm like, hey, come in here and let's start skinning this pig. So we start skinning the pig. I show them how to do it, how to hold the knife, all this stuff. And they look at you and they're like, this is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I'm like, exactly. It's like, let's do this. And then when you start cutting meat up, they start seeing it and they're like, this is not as hard as I thought it's going to be. And I love seeing that light bulb go off. Greg, I appreciate it. I will talk to you soon, buddy. So just stuff like that. Watching the people learn, teaching that kind of stuff. So I've got a checklist for you for the next 7 days. This is a checklist. Day 1, check all your batteries and all your flashlights. I was bad about this. I pulled out. I keep one of the. It's a knockoff Streamlight, like one of the stylus. It's like about as big as like a permanent marker. One of the little stylus. It's a knockoff from Amazon. I keep it in my pocket. I went to use it the other day, and the battery started flickering. I was like, "Ooh, I need to change the batteries in this joker." So I made a note that when I got home, I grabbed some batteries and changed it out. So day one, today, check all the batteries in your flashlights. Make sure everything's working. Day two, cook one meal from your stored food. Don't go grab the Mountain House and throw hot boiling water with it. Get some stuff and cook a meal from scratch. You've got 1,000 pounds of beans, 1,000 pounds of rice, and 2,000 pounds of wheat berries. Grab that stuff and cook a meal with it. Day three, practice one skill you hadn't used in a month. How many people have radios like this and they turned them on when they bought them a year ago, turned them on, listened to the local repeater and turned them off? Have you ever even talked to anybody on one of these? So practice one skill you hadn't used in months. When was the last time you applied a tourniquet to yourself? Yeah, you played with the tourniquet when you bought it, but have you put it on lately? When was the last time you did that? So do that skill. Day four, audit your medical kit. Go in, see what you've got. See what you got. See what you don't have. I mean, if you got any questions on that, email me. I can walk you through stuff that you need. Any of your medicines, the medicines are better or last longer than their expiration date. I'll just tell you that, but that's not medical advice. But audit your medical kit. Is there stuff in there that you need? Have your Band-Aids been sitting in the truck for 2 years and you never looked at your Band-Aid? So when you need a Band-Aid, it's not going to stick. I know sometimes I've had Band-Aids and first aid kits in the truck for several years and you go to pull them out and you're like, ooh, these things are not going to stick. So audit your medical kit. Day five, walk your property and identify the weak points. Go through and look, say, hey, if we had a grid down situation, people could get in here, or we need to fix this fence, or just anything. Weak points could be weak points for your animals. Have been walking the fence down in a certain spot and you're like, hey, I need to get out and fix this fence. Or, hey, I've got something going on over here. We need to fix this. Day six, spend 10 minutes reading about local risk. That goes in with like an area study. Go in, look at your local risk. If you've got gang activity popping up a little bit more here and there, read about it. Look about as far as, and most of us have lived in the same spot for long enough, we know as far as weather patterns and stuff like that. So you really don't have to worry about that. But look around like the power grid. How vulnerable is the power grid where you're at? Trains, rail lines. We've got a railroad real close to my house. See if you can find out like what kind of products they haul up and down in those freight cars. Look at that. Day seven is write in a journal stuff that you've learned in the last week, and keep doing that stuff. Just keep rotating around. Don't get complacent on stuff. Blow the dust off all the stuff that you put in your preps and you hadn't looked at in a year. Blow the dust off that stuff. Get the stuff out and start playing with it. I'll tell you honestly, one thing I'm complacent about in truth in advertising, I need to get this Zoleo, or however you say it. I need to get it out, hook it back up to my phone and start playing with it and make sure that I know how to use it when I need it. So that's one thing I'm complacent on. Another thing I'm complacent on is I've not played radios in a good while. So I need to get and sit down one night and play with the radios. Go through all my radios, make sure they're all charged and stuff like that. There's no excuse for it. All my radios, a bunch of them are sitting over in front of me. The other ones are sitting in the other room, and it's just get out and do the stuff. Guys, if y'all need anything, first aid medical stuff, let me know. If you need anything else, we've got the pre-programmed radio packages. I will answer questions. Miss Sharon put it up here, our emails and everything. So let me know about that. Let me see. L2 survive. I have 4 shelves in my office where a bunch of electronics are plugged into surge protectors with smart plugs. A couple times a week, they get turned on for 10 minutes to top off the batteries. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. And stuff that you know, sit down, make a checklist of stuff that you need to do every week and go through there every week and look at that. There's stuff that I do like that all the time is just go through and look at it. It's like, hey, every week I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So go through your stuff. Go through your bag that you keep in the truck. Make sure everything's good on it. But guys, if you need anything, shoot us an email. I appreciate it. And don't forget, the Land Nav class is 25% off right now. You don't need a coupon code or anything. It's that price on the website. Get your tickets. It's going to be an awesome class. I've got to pack up some stuff and send out. Don't forget, run by and look at the video. I did that video. It's up with the MRE Star MRE. And guys, I appreciate it. And Shelly and I will be back here Wednesday night, and we're going to have Greg New talking about winterizing your bees. Guys, I appreciate it, and I will see y'all soon. Thanks.